Welcome.
to the Franklin Great Out Community Partnership Meeting.
Wait a minute, you're 30 seconds early.
Grateful that everybody is able to join us. I know it's going to be a small group today because it is a holiday week and a lot of people are off on vacation. So this is our first meeting without Joe Halco, and I'll be the first one to say that I'm twisted in the guts. I miss him so much, and I also am so grateful that he has kept this group going strongly for so many years. So we are committed to keep it going. And this month, we had done this, I think not last year, but the year before. Instead of having a presenter and trainer, since our summer months are attended a little bit less, what we wanted to do was a round robin to get to know our partners more. So the first thing that we will do is introductions in the same fashion that we typically have historically. So if you can introduce yourself, your name, your organization, and role within that organization. And then one thing that you are grateful for, and I will call people, we're gonna start on Zoom. I'm gonna call people on Zoom as I see you. And again, your name, your organization, one thing you're grateful for, and if you are new to this group, if this is your first meeting, please put your email address in the chat so we can add you to the listserv. I don't know where it is. Okay, so I'm going to start with Amanda.
One piece of paper so that he can sign in here.
Hi all, I'm Amanda with the St. Albans Notch. I am grateful for the warm weather. I'm grateful for like the night activities and just the energy that comes with it.
Awesome, thank you, Amanda. Sadara. Okay, I don't know if maybe Sadara had to step away, so I will come back. Phone call, no problem, we'll come back, thank you. Next person is Matthew.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Matthew LaFleur. I use he, him pronouns. I'm actually a statewide member of Vermont Truth and Realization Commission. Basically, it's an organization commissioned by Governor Phil Scott to hold Vermont accountable for basically policies that are very harmful, especially white-led policies that it harms the most vast majority of communities of color. But what I'm thankful for is, having an opportunity to work on this issue across the state, statewide, because it's a very big issue with equity at stake. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Matthew. Sam.
Yes, hello everybody. I'm Sam Snyder. I work with I actually just started last week, so I'm kind of fresh. So this is my first meeting.
Yay.
I work with the Franklin County Restorative Justice Center in Grand Isle as well, doing pretrial services. I would say I'm grateful today to be on this side of the dirt, the right side, for me at least today.
Thank you, Sam, and welcome. Glad that you're joining us. And just so you know, every new person, we have you do a song and dance, but that's at the end of the meeting, so you have time to think about what you'd like to do. Next person, Beth.
I am Beth Burgess with Vermont 211. I'm grateful to be going on vacation for a week starting Friday.
Exciting.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you, Beth. Nicole.
Good morning. I'm Nicole Clements. I'm a resource coordinator with the Working Bridges program in the United Way of Northwest Vermont, mouthful. And I am grateful for the next few days filled with family and fun and just having a good time instead of worrying about the world.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Nicole. Randy, I see that you just logged in and we're going through introductions via Zoom. So you are next and we're saying name, organization, and role within the organization, and then one thing that you are grateful for.
Good morning, Melinda. I'm Randy Allen. I work at the Turning Point of Franklin County as a recovery coach. And I am grateful I have a 4-day weekend to enjoy time with my family.
Wonderful, thank you. Deb? There there she comes.
Geez, I don't think I've ever gotten second before. I'm Deb William, and I am the Parent Service Coordination Supervisor for H-Well, one of the Franklin and the Grand Zion office. Been here almost 5 years. Job. And I'm also thankful that after today, I have a few days off, because our office is really growing, and we have 3 new staff joining us, so it's been very busy, and I'm great.
Thank you, Deb. And just so you know, it was kind of hard to hear you. So in case you do later in the meeting, we have you come back in, you might want to pull the microphone a little bit closer. But I heard you enough to capture the minutes, so thank you. Next person, Karen.
Good morning, Karen Heinlein Granier. Sorry for being late. I'm sorry, Melinda, all of your teammates are late.
Totally okay.
I'm grateful for the upcoming holiday weekend.
Awesome. Okay, and I see, and just so you know, so we have gone through almost everybody on Zoom. I did see Katie. Karen just went. I did see Katie's face for a second. So Katie, if you're out there and would like to do your introduction, name, organization, and something you're grateful for.
Hi, I'm Katie DeBoard, and I work at the Turning Point in Franklin County. And something I'm grateful for, I'm grateful for this nice sunshine. And I also have the other Katie with me too.
Oh, awesome. Thank you, Katie, and Katie Doyle.
Hi, I'm Katie Doyle. I work at the Turning Point of Franklin County, and I'm grateful for the days that I feel rushed, but I actually have more time than I presume.
The gift of time, as we hear. Thank you, Katie. I'm going to try one more time. Sedera, if you're not still on that call and you'd like to introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, my name is Sedera. I'm one of the care coordinators at Notch St. Albans, and I'm newer to the position. I've been here about 2 months in this role, so it's nice to see everyone and get to meet everyone through Zoom. I'm very grateful for the peppers and tomatoes I have coming up in my garden.
Ooh, awesome. Thank you, Sedera. I think I got everybody on Zoom. I'm going to pause for a second. Is there anybody on Zoom that did not get called on? Okay, so we're going to hop in the room. We've got, I think, one of the smallest groups I've seen since last summer, of course. So we will start in the room, and I'm going to start with Danielle.
Cool. Awesome. My name's Danielle Roberts. This is my first meeting as well. I'm the new Joe, as some people will say it. I just took over for the Director of Community Relations at NCSS, so I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be part of this group and to be part of such a great organization.
Awesome. Thank you, Danielle.
Morning, everybody. Chad Fallon, Department of Health, Chronic Disease Designee. I am grateful. I'm one of the few people that thinks New Jersey is the best place in the whole wide world, and I am going down later tonight to see my family, my parents and sister. I just love New Jersey, so I'm excited.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. John Gordon, Sheldon Methodist Church Food Shelf, and in keeping with my promise, over the next several months, you will learn about several of my other positions that I do since I'm retired. But I'm a lay minister with the United Methodist Church. I'm currently assigned as the lay minister serving the Montgomery Methodist Church, which is right on the little triangle there in Montgomery. And the pastor for our church died from cancer a couple of months ago, so for the past several months in the foreseeable future, I preach in both Montgomery and Sheldon United Methodist churches at least 3 Sundays a month. I'm preaching. I do that in addition to running the food shelf. And what am I thankful for? Well, I guess I say I'm thankful. We learned yesterday that our food shelf was awarded a $19,000 grant from the bi-state health people, with support from Chad here at the Vermont Department of Health, and Denise Smith at NMC and Christine Percaro, Healthy Roots, will be working with Notch to provide foods appropriate for people with chronic diseases, so things like diabetes, so specialty foods that I typically cannot get my hands on at the food shelf. We have this money, the money will all be used to purchase foods for these people, so working with the Notch in Richford and Miranda Henry.
Awesome. Thank you, John. And my name is Melinda White. I am the Recovery Coach Supervisor in the Emergency Department and also Blueprint Mat Lead. And I am grateful, slightly anxiety inducing, but very grateful and excited that the Substance Use Addiction Summit is this month. So I am putting in a shameless plug, and I have a few flyers in the room too, but the 3rd annual Substance Use Addiction Summit is coming up on Friday, July 19th at the Champlain Valley Expo. It goes from 10 o'clock a.m. to 4 o'clock p.m. From 10 to 11:45 is our summit presentation, which includes the governor's office, the health department giving some data and statistics, and then a number of fantastic presenters that include Jenna's Promise, Josh Plata's House. I'm going to be presenting with Peter Wright, our CEO with Northwestern Medical Center, to share about our embedded recovery coach in the ED program. We're going to have our platinum sponsor, Savita, share about their services, Working Fields, Recovery Partners. So we just got a great slew, and Granite Recovery, of course, who is a wonderful example of an organization that provides residential detox treatment, outpatient program, and they have a tri-state model, so we're having them share so we can hopefully eventually go that direction. So that's from 10 o'clock to 11:45, and then from noon to 4 are when the breakout rooms open. And for the breakout rooms, we have Dr. White doing a training on the 4th wave of substance use and contingency management for stimulant use disorder. We've got Dana Bourne from the health department who's going to be doing a workshop on contingency management for tobacco cessation. And then we have a recovery room where there are people in recovery that'll share their experiences and then open the floor for a Q&A. And then the booth rooms also are open from noon to 4. And we have almost 80 organizations registered for booths. The event is open to the public, no charge, no registration required for people to attend. We're really trying to highlight that because we learned last couple of years that people wanted to go and they didn't know how to register. Well, it's because you don't have to. Also, if you know of any organizations that you think would be a good fit for holding a booth, the booths are no charge. We do ask for registrations for the booths, so I can put you on the booth map and we can list you. So feel free to share the event with individuals. You'll see in the weekly updates I've been including the booth flyer that has the registration link and QR code. Feel free to share that with any community partner. We've got everything from some smaller nonprofits that usually like to table and often can't afford the cost, and for this there's no cost, so they can table, and that's why we keep it free, right up to some larger organizations that have locations in various states. And we do have, as I said, Granite Recovery is in Maine and New Hampshire. We've got Champlain Toxicology from New York, so it's not only Vermont. So definitely want to encourage people to continue spreading the word and sharing about that event. And we're really excited for it. So again, Friday, July 19th at the Champlain Valley Expo is the 3rd annual Substance Use Addiction Summit. So I welcome, come right in. Have a seat. We're just doing introductions. We got a couple new people on the screen too. So I am going to hop back to the Zoom. Denise, I did see you driving, so please do not attempt to introduce yourself if it's going to cause any kind of road issue.
Yeah, no road issue. It's good.
Okay.
I just won't turn my camera on again. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Yeah, good morning. Denise Smith, NMC, Director of Pop Health. I am grateful for a few days off.
For what?
A few days off.
Oh, yay. Yes. Now I can. Yep. Awesome. Thank you, Denise. And then I'm going to hop back in the room and we're just doing introductions. So name, organization, and one thing that you are grateful for. And I will start with Matt.
Oh, well, Parsons.
Organization.
Yeah, organization. I'm not here for that.
You can
but
be a community member.
Yes.
Community member, that works. Grateful for the next couple of days. They're be celebrating my wife's retirement.
Ooh.
Surprise retirement party, so grateful for that.
Awesome. Ann.
I am Ann Parsons, community member, and I am grateful that I found this room.
We are too. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Since we the new people in the room, some people had already heard it, but I also am thankful. On June 20th, my wife and I celebrated our 53rd anniversary.
Nice.
Yay!
Dinner at Jeff's Main Seafood.
Okay, we'll be there.
No, you already had it. You missed it.
Oh, shoot. Okay, so I think we got everybody. I'm just peeking at Zoom and in the room. I think we got everybody for their introductions, and I will just also put a shout out and a thank you for our team from Northwest Access TV. So we have Hunter Para and Sophie Williams. Thank you. We appreciate you. Continue to show love and support to Northwest Access TV. They do so much coverage of a number of different events that are very important, so we really appreciate you. So this month, as I said, we don't have a presenter. We wanted to keep it a little bit lighter, not that we have heavy meetings, but a little bit lighter, and just get to know our partners a little bit more. So we have two options. There's icebreakers we're gonna do. And what we'll do is go around the room and do similar to what we just barely did, except you can choose one of the two items listed to get to know your partners. So one option is to list 2 items on your bucket list, and I'm also gonna put this in the chat. 2 items on your bucket list to share with people so they can get to know you more. Or say 2 things about yourself, one that is true, one that is false, and then the group will guess which one is false. And we did this at Restorative Justice Center in a different group. I'm part of ACOSA, and I just thought it was super cool. So we'll go with either selecting as I call on you, select either 2 bucket list goals that you would like to share with the group so we can get to know more about you, or say 2 things about yourself, one that is true and one that is false. So I'm going to start on Zoom again. I had thrown it in the chat earlier, so I'm hoping some people had a chance to review and prepare. I'll ask for 1 volunteer to start us off, and then I'll go in the order that I saw people on the screen. I just don't want to put the first person on the spot if they don't have an answer yet. So who would like to start on Zoom to share either 2 bucket list items or one thing that's true and one thing that's false about you? And of course, if there's not a volunteer, I'll go ahead and call on someone.
Hi, I'll go. Deb Quilliam here.
Thanks, Deb.
Why not? Let's see. 2 bucket list items. One is going to be fulfilled next year, but I wanted to go visit, part of my heritage, which is Ireland, ancestors from there. So next fall, we have a trip booked to Ireland. And then my next bucket list would be able to actually retire in a couple of years and be those camper traveler people that go all over the place. So those are my 2 current bucket lists.
Awesome. Thank you, Deb. Sam, would you like to go next?
Sure. Yeah, I have a couple of bucket list items. Both are kind of sports related. So one of them is I'd like to learn how to surf.
Ooh.
Never been surfing before. I'm not even a snowboarder. I don't know if I have the balance for it, but I'd like to at least give it a go. The other is I'm about just over 6 feet tall, so I feel like there's no excuse that I can't dunk a basketball, and I would love to be able to do that. Probably I should get on that sooner rather than later.
Awesome. Thank you, Sam. Matthew?
Yes, 2 on my bucket list. Actually, they're pretty good. I mean, I gotta do with the state, which is good. One of them is fulfilling the UVM Network Autism Collaborative, which is a medical terminology for the state of Vermont, which is actually releasing basically to the public pretty soon information how to treat because the state of Vermont tasked me to do that for the state. That's one of the state, completions that I'm happy about because I service all. The other one is we finally got the Environmental Justice Network, which is also state-bound. Our direct manager. We've been looking for a direct manager for a while now. We finally, might have someone at the end of this week. This week, to fulfill the role, so we can actually get on with other stuff that we need to do. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Matthew. Amanda.
I would like to backpack Yellowstone National Park, and then I would love to do one of those Alaskan long cruises. Those are on my to-do list.
Oh, that sounds like fun. Awesome. Thank you, Amanda. Nicole.
I'm gonna do the two things that are true and false. One is I've been a member of a dragon boat team for 5 of the years that I've been on it, and it's been really fun. And the other is I once partied with Mick Jagger.
Okay, so I'm glad you chose this one. So again, that you partied with Mick Jagger and that you've been a member of a dragon boat team. Who would like to guess which one is false?
I think you partied with Mick Jagger.
Yeah.
I want to believe it.
Yeah, I want to believe it.
Yeah. That one sounds more. Dragon boat. There's all kinds of people who do dragon boat. That's no big deal.
So it sounds like you've got between 3-4 people in the room and one person on Zoom. They're feeling the dragon boat is the false one and that you did party with Mick Jagger. Looks like Randy. It looks like a lot of people are guessing that. I see Matthew shaking his head. I think he thinks that you dragon boat and didn't party with Mick Jagger. Am I right?
It was Matthew, sorry. I vote that you party with Mick Jagger. That's money. That's celebrity versus dragon boats, which I think Burlington does host those. So that's true. That one has to be true. So that's my vote. Thank you.
Awesome. Anybody else want to weigh in before we ask Nicole to reveal which one is true and which one is false?
I think Mick Jagger is false.
I know, and that was my initial thought too, and yet,
No, it's true.
you think it is?
I do.
Okay, Nicole, at the count of 3, do the reveal. 1, 2, 3.
Mick Jagger is the true one.
That is awesome. Oh my goodness. Would you like to share a little bit more about it before we go to the next person? Like just a little bit about what that looked like?
Sure. When I was a kid, my mom was an actress and lived in LA, and they were good friends, and I was at a party with him. I didn't know who he was at the time I was at the party. I do remember the lips really specifically as a child, but they were the wildest lips I'd ever seen. And years later, I read an article about her and him, and I also recognized his lips in a concert on TV, and I was like, that's the guy that was at my mom's party.
Do you have any recollection if he had good dance moves?
He was sitting on a couch. He had a big, giant wraparound couch, so everybody was kind of sitting on this couch, and he was sitting next to me and chatting away. So he wasn't dancing when I was there. But his lips were the and you never forget those lips.
That is awesome. Thank you, Nicole. And welcome, Ollie. Just so you know, today is a round robin. We are doing something fun because it's usually the least attended meeting of the year because of vacation. So we're asking people to either list 2 items from your bucket list or to name 2 things about yourself, one that's true and one that's false. In the group will try to guess which one is true and which one's false. So just to bring you in the loop. And now I'm going to go to you, Randy. You're next.
Okay, I'm gonna give you 2 things. You've gotta guess which one is wrong.
Okay.
Number 1, I used to be a manager at Bed Bath & Beyond. And number 2, I used to be a firefighter. I used to teach firefighting.
Okay, so was Randy truly a firefighter or a Bed Bath & Beyond manager? So feel free to kind of weigh in on what you all think. Bed Bath & Beyond manager or firefighter? And I'm not going to answer this one because I already know. What do you guys think? Any guesses out there?
Firefighter.
You think he was a firefighter?
Sure.
Yeah, I'd buy the firefighter. Bed Bath & Beyond manager.
Okay, so it looks like in the room there's a pretty consistent thought that you were a firefighter and not Bed Bath & Beyond store manager, and Amanda is also agreeing with people in the room, believing that you were a
I
fire.
think he was the this is Denise, I think he was the Bed Bath & Beyond manager, not a firefighter.
Okay, so Denise thinks that you were, and so does Sam. They feel, and Nicole, so they feel that you were a Bed Bath & Beyond manager. So now it's kind of evening out. Beth thinks you're a firefighter. Going to agree with Denise and Sam. Another one that thinks that you're a Bed Bath & Beyond store manager.
It's that split decision.
Bed Bath & Beyond.
Bed Bath & Beyond for Matthew.
This is next Monday.
Okay. So, boy, Randy, it feels like there's kind of an pretty even vote. So, at the count of 3, would you reveal? 1, 2, 3.
I was a firefighter.
Yay, and I knew that. Awesome, thank you, Randy. Okay, Denise, you are next. Only if it doesn't cause a car accident, of course. Okay, I'm gonna go back to Denise, because she is driving. Oh, I see her unmuting.
Can you hear me?
Yep, now we can, yep.
Okay, I had a miss, whatever. Anyway, okay, so I'm gonna do true and false. So I was supported a dog team in Alaska, for the Iditarod. And I slept on a roof, in Timbuktu, in West Africa.
Okay, so you slept on, it was a little bit hard to hear, but it sounds like you slept on a roof in the middle of June in Africa?
It's Timbuktu.
Timbuktu. Got it. I need a hearing aid. Okay, and what was the first one again?
I supported a dog team in the Iditarod in Alaska.
It supported a dog team in Alaska. Okay, so who would like to weigh in? Which one do you think is false?
They're both oddly specific.
I know, they are specific.
Yeah.
Timbuktu is the okay. So Amanda thinks that Timbuktu is the lie. Alaska. Nicole thinks Alaska is false. What about in the room? What do you guys think?
Alaska's true.
I think Alaska's true too.
So in the room, we're hearing people feel that Alaska's true. I also see Beth believes that sleeping on the roof is true. Okay, Denise.
Just so you know, Denise, some of us could believe either one of them.
Yeah. And Katie are feeling Alaska is true.
Yeah, I like the Alaska one.
Okay, Denise. So, what is the reveal? 3, 2, 1.
So I slept on a roof in Timbuktu, and when I was in the Peace Corps, we did a trip there. The Alaska one is a dream, it's a bucket list thing.
I was wrong too. Wow. Well, awesome, Denise. Thank you. Okay, Sadara, would you like to either share 2 bucket list items or share 2 things about yourself, 1 true and 1 false?
I will do 2 bucket list items, I think.
Okay.
I have ran half marathons before, but I've never ran a full marathon, so that's on my list. And then I would like to get some sort of higher education degree. Don't know what that is at this time.
Okay, so. Oh, wait, sorry, we're not guessing. These are both true. Awesome, Sadara. Thank you for sharing both of those, and they sound like fantastic goals. Okay. Katie. So let's go to the room with the 2 Katies. And whichever one of you would like to go first. So Katie and Katie.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the 2 bucket lists. My first one is that I wanna bring my children on a big carnival cruise. And my second one is that I want to go back to school and finish getting my degree that I started years ago at some point.
Awesome. Those are fantastic.
I think we should get the vote on which of the bucket list, which one of the bucket lists is true and which one is really false. I really find it hard to believe she really wants to take her kids on a carnival
Really,
cruise.
that's a
on
tough one
carnival
for
cruise.
you.
It's like, no, that doesn't make sense.
You
You leave the kids at home. You leave the kids at home when you go on a carnival cruise.
That's an awesome one. Thank you, Katie. And Katie Doyle, are you there? There she is.
Yes, I am. I will do, I'm gonna wing it, I'll do the true and false one.
Okay.
Okay, so I have to make a step up, and I could make a step up in this, but, I joined the circus, and I was 8 for a time, and, another one?
Yeah, one is true and one is false.
I look mean, but I'm really nice.
Okay. So people want to weigh in. Which one is not true? Is it false that Katie joined the circus when she was 8, or is it false that she looks mean but is really nice?
I think you're nice.
I know, everybody thinks you're nice.
That's unfair if we say, yeah, you know, we know you're nice, so it's like half of that has got to be true.
So it looks like in the
we don't
Zoom,
see you in the room, so to be able to say, okay, do you really look mean or not? We just see you on the screen, Katie. So I think that one's false. I don't think you really look mean. I think you're just nice and look nice.
So John thinks you were in the circus.
And you were in the circus. That I can believe that. You joined the circus when you're 8. That would be kind of cool.
And we have a couple of people on the Zoom are both saying, so Nicole and Sadara believe that the circus is the false one. Anybody else want to weigh in before we have Katie do the reveal?
I think I'll do the circus being the true one.
The circus is a true one. Okay. What did Denise say?
Circus is true.
Circus is true. She thinks the circus is true. Okay, Katie, at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Which one is false?
The circus.
The circus is false. Thank you, Katie. That was cute. I was going to say Circus Schmirkus is coming up, so I didn't know if I was going to see you there. Okay, so Beth, would you like to go next?
Sure. This is bucket list.
Yes, so you can choose 2 items on your bucket. Oh, sorry, I thought you were asking. Yep.
Yeah. So for one, I'd like to go back to Europe, visit some countries I haven't seen, which is most of them, and see more of Italy, and also visit the British Isles. And I also, as with Dad, would like to retire soon and pursue other things.
Awesome. Great goals. Thank you so much, Beth. Okay. Ali, would you like to list 2 items on your bucket list or list 2 things about yourself, 1 true, 1 false?
Yeah, 2 things about myself, 1 true, 1 false.
Okay.
Between me almost being a professional soccer player or me being, say, a concert guitar player. Which one is true and which one is false?
Ooh. Okay, group. So would you like to weigh in? Do you believe Ali was a professional soccer player or a concert guitar player? Which one is false?
I think the guitar player is false.
You think the guitar is false?
I've met Ali and I could see him being a soccer player. I couldn't see him being a concert guitarist. Sorry, Ali.
And see, I think it's hard because you're super talented.
Yeah.
And I'm a musician, and the first time I met you years ago, I immediately felt like magnetized to you. And that usually happens with other musicians or people in recovery. So I'm going to guess that the concert guitar is true. And in the chat, it looks like we have Amanda thinks the concert guitar player is false. Beth thinks the guitar player is true. Sam thinks the soccer is true, and the guitar is false. Anybody else want to weigh in?
I want to hear what Amanda has to say.
Say it again.
What Amanda has to say. Amanda reads, yes.
I think the guitar playing is false. I could see you as a soccer player.
Okay, so the official reveal. Which one is not true?
The guitar player.
The guitar player is not true. Oh my gosh. Good job, you guys.
So much for your gut instinct.
I know,
Melinda.
right? All right. So I think we only have one more person on Zoom, Karen Garand, and I want to give you a little history of what we're doing since you're just joining us. So today is a round robin with our partners, something lighthearted so we can get to know our partners better. So we are asking our partners to share either 2 items on your bucket list or 2 things about you, 1 true and 1 false, and we guess which one is not true. So would you like to unmute and participate and either share 2 things on your bucket list or 2 things about yourself, 1 true and 1 false?
Good morning. I'm happy to share 2 things on my bucket list.
Okay, awesome.
So I am a big cruiser. I like to go on cruises. So 2 that are on my bucket list are going to Spain and also Australia, out that way.
Awesome. I'll carry your bags. Thank you so much, Karen. Did I get everybody on Zoom? I just want to pause and make sure. I feel like I did, but I just want to be sure. Did I miss anyone? Okay. So now we're coming into the room. And I'm going to go around clockwise. So, Mr. Matt.
I think I'm going to go with 1 truth and 1 lie.
Okay.
So I met Mr. Rogers at a gas station in Nantucket, Mass. And I've hitchhiked across Europe when I was a younger man.
Wow. Okay. So we have meeting Mr. Rogers in Mass or hitchhiking across Europe. What do you all think? Oh, so Nicole thinks Europe is false. What do you all think? Boy, that's a hard one.
I think Europe is false.
Europe. Oh yeah, we got 3 on Zoom that say Europe is false. We got 1 in the room that says Europe is false.
Yeah, I'll go with that. I'll go with Europe being false.
Okay.
Although I've never heard of Mr. Roberts being in Massachusetts.
Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers being in Massachusetts.
Him too.
Mr. Rogers. I don't know. Man, I think I'm gonna guess that the Mr. Rogers is false. No, I don't think it is actually. I don't think it is. Okay. I think it sounds like it's pretty unanimous Europe is false.
So for some reason you don't really impress people as being a hitchhiker, as being a backpacker. Yeah.
So you're correct. That's false.
So you did meet Mr.
You did meet
Rogers.
Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, he had a home in Nantucket called the Crooked House. That had a kind of a strange little foundation to it. But I was working at a gas station there and met him.
What was he wearing? A brown sweater?
Yes, he was wearing a sweater. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Changed before he walked in.
Yeah.
Very quiet guy. Very, very quiet. He had a Volkswagen Jetta diesel.
Awesome. Thank you, Matt. Anne, you're up.
I'm gonna do the true and false.
Okay.
So I was born in California in 1957, and when I was born, I was 3 pounds 4 ounces full term.
3 pounds 4 ounces. or born in California?
In 1956.
In 1956. Okay. So who wants to weigh in? Was Anne born in California in 1956? Or did she?
57.
57. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I misheard you. Or was she 3.4 ounces? So it looks like on Zoom, we've got California is false. Born in California. So it looks like a few people on Zoom are thinking that you were not born in California in 1957. What about in the room? Gosh, which one do I think?
Well, the weight part, she said full term. So I'm gonna say that one's false, and maybe she was premature and weighed that.
Okay. So one for, and I feel like I'm with you on that one too. I feel like that one is false one. Anybody else want to weigh in before we get the reveal?
Well, the 1957 part, but my mother turned gray when she was 25. So the fact that you have gray hair doesn't necessarily portend 57. So yeah, I kind of like your, 3.4 ounces full term, premature maybe, but full term, that's pretty would be, I think that one's false.
Okay.
Premature.
Yep. So the big reveal, 3, 2, 1, which one is false?
California 57.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Awesome. Thank you, Anne. Danielle.
All right, I'm gonna do the bucket list items. One that I'm currently working on and still have a long way to go. I want to go to every NHL rink in North America.
Yes. Oh.
I'm a big hockey player, so my friends and I started that pre-COVID, and we've made a decent dent on it. And my other bucket list item is to go whitewater rafting. It's something that's so simple, but I've never done, and I've always wanted to.
Awesome. Totally doable. That is so cool. Thank you. Chad.
My bucket list, I really would like to become a certified scuba diver and do search and rescue things. I've been a lifelong swimmer, so scuba diving seems like a good next step. I also dream of buying like a beater Jeep Wrangler. That was my first car when I was 17. And there's one for sale like right outside my house, and it's taken a lot of self-control not to buy it. It looks like a real beater, but I like the older models, and someday. And I do apologize, I need to leave early. I got a call for a dentist appointment, and as the chronic disease designee, I can tell you getting a dentist appointment is a ginormous pain.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it up and leave in about 10 minutes.
No problem. Feel free to take a flyer with you.
Yes,
when we do the announcements. That's obviously going to be said again. Thank you, Chad.
Thank you.
Mr. John.
All right. I've been really struggling with this one, but I guess I'll go with bucket list. For those of you that know, I'm a model railroad enthusiast and die-cast toy collector, and one of the things on my bucket list, in Hamburg, Germany, there's a place called Miniature World, which is the largest HO scale, which is 1/87th scale, model railroad layout in the world. It's in a warehouse, it's like 13,000 square feet, has like 13 miles of HO railroad track. That's like little HO railroad track stretching from here to my house in Fairfield. Or in real terms, that's about 1,000 miles of railroad, of actual railroad. It has sections that are all over the world, like there's a Swiss Alps section, there's a Norwegian fjord section, there's the Grand Canyon in the United States, there's a couple of sections in the United States. It's cost them something like $5 million to build, and they've been building it for like 10 or 12 years now. You can go online to, if you Google Miniatur, M-I-N-A-T-U-R, World, you can, it's on the internet. It's open to visitors year round. At night, everything turns dark and the whole model thing all lights up. It has an airport that planes take off from. It has hundreds of trains running. The control system for this looks like the control system of a power station. It's a big, huge room with all kinds of computer screens and everything. And there's all kinds of little interactive things that they do, like there's one building catches on fire and the fire trucks all come up, so there's all kinds of, not just the trains, but all the rest. There's cars running, and there's just all kinds of, it's just absolutely fascinating. And they have thousands of visitors, of course, come through there all the time. It's open year round. And I guess the other thing on my bucket list, since I'm already a book star, and I'm already a movie star, I would maybe, I don't know, like to become like a radio star or a TV star.
Huh, okay.
So for those of you that know, I am actually the subject of a book. The name of the book is called The Gulf, written by David Poyer, and it's a story about a Vermont dairy farmer, naval reservist, who gets recalled to active duty way back before the Gulf War when we did the reflagging of the tankers in the Persian Gulf. And David Poyer was a naval reservist friend of mine who looked at me and said, you give me an idea for a book. And so I'm actually the main character in that book. And for those of you that have seen the documentary, Bess O'Brien's documentary about food insecurity, I'm not really one of the stars, but I'm in the movie.
I love it. Thank you, John.
You're known for that EGOT.
Covers a lot of ground.
Yeah, going for the trifecta.
If you'd like to nominate John for award-winning, no, I'm just joking. Thank you, by the way, for all that you do. Okay, so I am going to choose the two things about myself, one true, one false, and I'm just going to kind of reuse the answers that I had used in the COSA. So I was a wrestling valet / manager in the year 2000, and I have a tattoo of a snake on my back. So I was a wrestling valet manager in 2000, and I have a snake tattoo on my back.
Tattoo is false. I agree with Nicole.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the tattoo's false.
Okay. Wow, you got a lot of false tattoos. Anybody disagree with that? And the big reveal is yes, so I don't have a snake tattoo on my back. And I think I might have used the wrestling manager thing too many times, but yes, I was a wrestling valet manager for World Pro Wrestling. My wrestlers were Jake the Snake Roberts and Golden Boy Jerry Gray, and the issue of May 2000 New Wave magazine tells our story. So the only hook I'm going to say is that was before I got in recovery, so it's a no judgment zone, I hope, if you happen to look at the magazine. Okay, so thank you everybody for playing our game, for participating. I know this is not what we're used to when we come to professional meetings, and at the same time, the idea of canceling a meeting on a holiday week did not feel as good of an idea compared to getting to know each other a little bit better. The next thing I'm going to go to, which I wanted to do before we started this, thank you, Nicole, is to get somebody to, I had sent out via email the meeting packet, including the meeting minutes, and would like to get somebody to make a motion, if you are somebody who did have a chance to read them, if I can get a motion to accept the meeting minutes as written or any edits, so we can get that part of our business done. So anybody who read the meetings for June, if you would like to motion to accept or make an edit.
I'll move to accept.
I'll second.
All right, all in favor? Any opposed? Awesome, thank you. So another thing we're going to do, which is on the agenda every month, but most times we don't get to it because of the presentations going over, which is also welcome because the presentations are awesome. But we're going to go through our announcements, upcoming initiatives. So if anybody would like to share any announcements, any upcoming initiatives, of course I know I have some, but I would like everybody else to go before me. So anybody that would like to share, whether it's an event that you're part of, if it's a new program you're doing, any new groups, any new initiatives for your organization, now is a great time to share those with this group. Yes, Beth.
Vermont 211 is now back to being 24/7.
Yay!
As of Monday. So, we sent out a press release to a whole raft of people, and probably some people have heard that, but we had our budget cut last year, and the legislature replaced what was missing. So we're now 24/7.
Awesome. Thank you, Beth. That is such great news. Such a needed resource. Any other announcements, upcoming initiatives?
Our good friend Amy Brewer has sent this out, and we'll send it out again. The butt litter cleanup I do like to say, like, on its face, it doesn't seem like a very fun event, but Amy can make anything fun, and I've heard very positive things. I'm looking forward to my first time going, so butt litter cleanup all throughout Franklin County. I think St. Albans is next week, and we'll get some flyers out there.
Awesome, thank you. And I think that's a good time to plug that we have the weekly updates that go out to our master listserv, so there are flyers with the dates for those events. And if anybody does have any initiatives that you would like to have included in the weekly updates, feel free to email them to me, or you can email to the FGI Community Partnership email address, which is in the weekly update email, as well as the meeting minutes. And a reminder that, saying it without getting too sad, Joe Halco did retire, so any information or questions to make sure to send to the FGIC Community Partnership Gmail address or myself, so they're not missed, and we'll include them in the weekly updates. Are there any other upcoming initiatives or announcements before I jump in? Okay, so again,
I have one. I'm sorry, I was having problems with my speaker. Can you guys hear me okay?
We can, yes, Karen, thank you.
Yes, so our WIC department has their Farm to Family event that they do every single year. That's gonna kick off on July 12th, and it's going to be in the big conference room from 1 to 3:30. And then they have some subsequent, follow-up events that are going to be available at some farmers markets, and I can send out the flyer to you. But the big kickoff is next week, yeah, July 12th.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. And yeah, if you want to email me, I'll be sure to include it in the weekly updates.
Where is that event, Karen?
It's going to be at the state building on the first floor in the big conference room.
Oh, okay, down building 130, the room 138 there on 1 Federal.
Room 138. Yep,
Yeah, on
you
1
got it.
Federal. Okay, thanks.
And there'll be different people tabling there, I believe, but they're definitely going to be promoting fresh fruits and vegetables with participating farmer involvement. Sorry, I don't have any more information, but I wanted to make sure to give a plug for that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Karen. Any other announcements, initiatives, groups, events? Okay, so I'm going to share a couple. One specifically, and I want to do a screen share as well. So this past Saturday was the You Will Be Found event. It was the choir fundraiser at Jenna's Promise. We had the Freedom and Unity Choir share or sing, and they did an amazing job. And then we also had a showing of No Easy Mile documentary. And we had a panel at the end, and I met Chip Piper, who is a father that had lost his son to an overdose and is starting a 501c3 nonprofit. So I just pulled up, and it is in the weekly updates, but I just want to try to draw attention to it. He is raising funding to support recovery services, the Turning Point in Central Vermont, as well as at Jenna's Promise. He is going to be doing 10 marathons in 10 days. That's his mission. And part of how he's also raising funds is a raffle for an ATV. The tickets are $50, and once he sells 200 tickets, he'll pull the raffle tickets. So I'm just pulling it on the screen to see that it is also in the meeting minutes, the website, if you'd like to purchase a ticket, and then also to get familiar with his new organization. It was powerful to hear Chip on the panel at that event share about his experience. Also want to just put in a plug. I know that No Easy Mile was filled. It's been a few years now, but Phil LaCroix did an amazing job on that film, and his whole purpose was to run the long trail in 10 days, and it was to raise awareness and funding for substance use, because he also lost 6 people in a very short period of time. He was there this past Saturday with his family. That was beautiful. So just wanted to plug Chip Piper's page, and if you check the weekly updates, you'll see it in the last at least 2, and I'll include it in Friday as well. So if you're interested in an ATV and supporting a good cause, the tickets are $50 for a raffle ticket. I see something in the chat. Oh, thank you, Karen, for putting that in the chat. Also, the Substance Use Addiction Summit, I'm going to pull up the draft agenda. We haven't really shared this yet. It's almost finalized. So for our agenda, we haven't confirmed who from the governor's office. We had Dr. Levine the last couple of years along with Monica Hutt last year. So we're just waiting for confirmation on who is going to be able to make it. And also just to give you an overview, so we have Charlie Papillo, very well-known radio host. He's going to be our MC again. And then Jeffrey Treitz with the health department is going to share data. He did that last year for us as well. Heather Wenzel from Savita is going to be sharing about their services. Carol, I always butcher her name, sorry, Carol, Richudo with Working Fields is going to share about their programs. And I know that Working Fields have come to this group at times. They're an employment staffing agency that supports second chances. So people in recovery, people with criminal histories, they can go to Working Fields, get job placement. Oftentimes I've set people in within 24 hours, they're able to go to work and they're connected with a recovery coach. So they're going to share about their program. Peter Wright and I are going to share about the recovery coaching in the emergency department. There's also a few anecdotal stories that I will share that day. And one of the individuals, I will say because he was interviewed by WCAX, so he has put it all out there, Josh Lash is also going to be at this event. He was in the part 1 of the 3-part series and a little bit in the part 2 of the 3-part series that Laura Allman with WCAX did. And if you just Google WCAX opioid, you'll see that 3-part series. So Josh was one of the people that she interviewed that I met in the emergency department, him and his mom, CJ. I think she's Celinda, but we call her CJ. So they're going to be at the event. He's also going to be in the recovery room. So we're going to be sharing a few stories about some of the people that have been seen right at Northwestern Medical Center and now are either, working in the field or back to work and healthy and healing. So we can share about that program. We also have a surprise, a flash mob. I'm not going to say more than that or else it won't be a surprise. The only other clue I'll get is Vermont Adult Teen Challenge. And after that, we have Granite Recovery coming to share about their programs. Tony Oshosny has been with us every year, and he is definitely our rock star. He has helped me get people into Granite Recovery Detox and Treatment Center. I have one person specifically who will also be in the recovery room. I went to his home, his family's home, 7 o'clock on a Sunday night. My husband and I went there to support him because he needed help. We made a call at 7 o'clock on a Sunday night and he got an intake, a screening, and was there the next morning. So Granite Recovery has been huge for a number of people that are seeking recovery to get in sooner than later. And of course now that person is at the Adult Teen Challenge program because he had wanted to do something longer term, so he's also going to be in the recovery room. Gary DeCarolis is the Executive Director for Recovery Partners of Vermont, and that used to be known as Vermont Recovery Network, so it has changed over the years, shifted, and he's going to be sharing about that. There's a large volume of Vermont programs that are part of the Recovery Partners, so he'll share about that. And then we'll have one of our Recovery Partners of Vermont, Don Tatro from Jenna's Promise, share about the creation of Jenna's Promise and what they do. And again, another beautiful program that we're hoping people will replicate. And then Valerie Pilata, with Josh's House, Josh Pilata Fund. So Valerie is Josh's mom, and she'll share about the creation of their organization. And again, when I look at Dawn and Valerie, our hope is for people to know about their programs, the beautiful work they do, and also to see how people who have gone through significant loss and grief have channeled that energy to help others. So Dawn lost her daughter, Jenna, to substance use and opened Jenna's Promise, which was part of it was Jenna's Promise. Jenna vocalized that she wanted to have an organization that would support women in recovery. And when she passed of an overdose, her parents wanted to make sure that her promise came true. So it's just a beautiful story. And then Valerie Pilata, her son had sadly committed suicide after being deployed. And we know that people who are struggling with PTSD and trauma, struggle with mental health, and she opened Josh's House to support veterans that are struggling with PTSD. So she's an amazing speaker. I got to hear her earlier this year and just fell in love. So we've got her as well. And then Miriam Boyle with the Vermont National Guard is going to share about their family programs. In this group, we usually see either Devin Bevins or Marcy Caulfield come in, and they join us often. So they're going to be sharing about their programs too. We're really wanting to shed some more light and love on our veterans. And then Brad and I will have closing comments, and then it'll go into the breakout rooms and the booth rooms. So I just wanted to share a little bit more detail. Are there any questions about the summit or any other updates, events, initiatives that people would like to share? And if not, to honor Kristen Pryor's saying, we can have the gift of time, which I don't believe has happened maybe twice in the history of Everness with this group. So we'll have the gift of time. It's beautiful outside. Go get some sunshine, some self-care. And thank you everybody for having a lighthearted, fun approach to our questions and round robin today. And we will see you next month in August.
Yeah. Next month is Christine Percaro and the Healthy Roots Gleaning Program.
Correct. So that will be our presenter. So thank you everybody for joining. Have a super blessed day. Enjoy the sunshine.
Thank you.
We're out. 10:01.
Danielle, did you guys say mics?